Hey, so welcome back everybody. Today's project is going to be doing what's called a Holz Hausen, I believe. You can correct me if I pronounce that incorrectly. I've got one here that's almost finished. I got to finish topping it off, and I've got a couple of nice big pile from some storm damage we had. Now the reason for building these is, there's multiple reasons for stacking it like this. It's a much better way to stack the firewood in general because this is going to allow the wood to dry out better and faster, because you can see it's got a lot of gaps in it where that's going to let air flow through. It's just kind of tossed up in the middle so that it lets air flow through from the bottom, from all the sides, wherever the breeze is coming from. It's going to blow straight through the stack and really help dry it out, keep it dry. Once we get to the top, we're going to put an angle, the way we'll stack it, kind of make a little roof for it to help shed the water as it rains. And the number one reason that I want to stack it like this here at my house is because it looks so much nicer. It's actually pretty out on the property. Having 6 or 8 or 10 of these stacks is actually going to look nice compared to just having a big pile somewhere, or even stacked like the traditional American way of stacking along the wall or between some racks all straight. That doesn't look bad. I don't think it looks bad, but I think this actually looks a lot prettier to me, a lot neater. And the traditional way of stacking, they're fit together a little tighter. They're usually up against the wall, or they're up against another stack, and the airflow is just not as good that way. So this way is going to help get this firewood seasoned and ready to go a lot faster. So all that being said, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first step to doing this, we got to decide how big we want it. I've already started one here, so I know what size I want. I kind of got a general idea of how far I want them apart. Basically, I'm trying to keep them separated just enough that I can mow between the stacks and between the garage over here, my workshop, and the stacks. I want to be able to keep everything taken care of, maintained around them. So setting them about 4.5 to 5 feet apart to leave enough room for the mower deck and easy access with the trimmer and all that stuff. But I'm doing 8-foot diameter on the base, and then that's kind of average size if you look them up. Anywhere from 7, 8, 9 feet I think is average diameter for these things, which if you make them that size, once they're up to height, they're actually, I think, about 2 cords of wood. So there's quite a bit of wood in one stack. A nice, neat looking package, organized and out of the way. So first thing we're going to do is kind of map out on the ground where it's going to be and get our 8-foot diameter marked. Make sure we've got everything spaced out right, and we'll just use some spray paint to make the markings, and then we'll start laying out the bottom layer. Okay, so rather than what I was doing and just kind of moving the tape measure around trying to keep it centered up, I decided to go a little bit easier route here. It's going to be a lot faster just to spin it out and get it done. Got a little stake, it's just a fence post stake. Tied the rope into the rope around it, and I've marked it here with a piece of wire at 4 feet. That way I can just hold the can. Can hold the can right here at 4 feet and just spin the radius around, or spin the circumference, and I'll have my 8-foot diameter. Now the main thing doing this is you want to make sure that you can turn freely on your post over here so that it doesn't wind around and kind of give you a spiral rather than consistent circumference. So that came out of nowhere. Just finishing painting my diameter for the base there, and it started pouring down rain. Looks like we're gonna have to wait a few minutes. And here we are about 3 minutes later, and it's already clearing up. Okay, so now that we got our base, our diameter marked out here, we can go ahead and start laying down the base layer. Now they're going to be, it's not like stacking up against the house or between rails. You're actually going to be trying to leave a little bit of room on the ends here so that you can make the radius, make the turn. And that's where you're going to see extra room for airflow. Now it's helpful here, if not all your pieces are the same length, you can put, you've got longer ones like this, put a little bit shorter one next to it. It's going to help make the turn a little bit better because they'll always be running into each other on the inside here. When you're stacking these, the goal is to angle them inward, because once we get it built up, we're going to fill this whole middle area with the offcuts, the pieces that aren't exactly ideal. So you're going to have that pressure from the inside pieces trying to spill out. It's going to be pushing out, so we want to have some small pieces, some bits and sticks that you can put in there, keep everything angled kind of inward, counteract that. Out here pouring out or anything. Got a little wet trying to get everything gathered up and brought back inside. It's coming down pretty hard and pretty sudden. So we got a good start. I guess we're going to stop for today. Not working this. Pick back up on it tomorrow morning. Bring you guys along, see what we can get done tomorrow, and hopefully get it finished up. So hope you enjoyed what we got today. Hope you enjoyed the video, liked it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I definitely don't want to be working in that weather. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more like it. Come back tomorrow and try to finish it up and show you, the rest of the benefits and how to kind of set it up and fill it inside and try to get the top on it. So thanks for watching. Make sure you come back and see us again.